staging at Event Center, coming up at 1:15. Manufacturer 9 o'clock Inches 30.
Alright guys, we're here at the P&K John Deere booth. We got Billy here. He's going to tell us a little bit about this 325G John Deere skid steer.
So, I'm Billy with P&K Equipment, Wausau, Oklahoma. This is the 325G skid steer. Deere makes multiple units, but the 325G is a track unit, so it's 75 horsepower. What you're going to find in the 325G is going to have a vertical lift versus a radial lift on the boom lift. Zigzag bar tracks right here. So other brands will make a lugged track, and then zigzag bar tracks will travel smoother over the terrain, not have as much vibration in the cab. Move around to the back right here. You're going to see service points. What Deere does a really good job of is on your service points, it's color coded. So you're going to have like the green diesel, yellow oil tabs. You can see what you're going to get, what you're servicing, what they are. The ability to pull your panels right off to get to your hydraulics right here. So you can feel right there pretty easily. Check everything really easily. Battery component right there. So you're going to also have the ability to have a backup camera. Backup cameras for Deere are going to have a more downward angle on the camera. They don't shoot as far back, so your trouble point is going to be right behind you anyway, so they do a good job of getting you right behind you.
That's the back of the camera right there. So I'm not super familiar with the John Deere skid steer. I know Trent, he runs a 323. I've driven it a few times, but he's got similar setup here.
I love what they've done with these panels. Mine are a lot harder to remove and a lot less fun to put back on. And there's a little bit more accessibility than there used to be. I noticed the battery is a lot further out, so it doesn't end up 2 foot deep in the mud like it used to. They've solved that issue. But yeah, being able to detach these, boom up, lock it out, and get right in from the side is a cool feature to me. What you do that?
Absolutely, agree. The ability to get in there is really good. So, gonna have a heavy duty rear louvers on the back. From a operator standpoint, getting in the machine is really got, they did a good job and was very thoughtful getting in it. So you have points of contact with your feet and hands, so you're going to have multiple points of contact here on the driver door on the inside. So when you're climbing in, you're going to have multiple points of contact to grab a hold of. The cutout to climb in is going to be lowered, so you can actually see your bucket really well, and climbing in is going to be a little more convenient, so to be able to get in there. You're going to have a lot of room once in the machine. You're going to have your air conditioning vents on the side, front here, side here. You've got more air conditioning vents down below. So when it talks about comfort in the machine, you're going to have very comfortable. Air seat. Got a heater option in the colds. You have a seat heater. Going to have your backup camera screen here. Radio on this side. Operator controls are on this side, so very intuitive to be able to reach up, touch the controls, and make adjustments as you need. These are going to be the EH controls. So one of the controls is going to work the boom specifically, the other is going to drive the machine, left, right, forward, and back. The old machines had hand-foot controls where your feet and your hands were working the boom and the steering separately.
Does this one have the selectable between H and ISO? Or?
This one doesn't have the selectable. The 333 would have the selectable H and ISO, but yeah, the 325 is going to be standard with the way it's ordered like that.
So is this one 2-speed?
It is 2-speed.
High flow?
High flow option on there also. So 325 has the high flow option. You can get it in standard high flow. We order them a lot of times with high flow so that you do have the high flow option on there.
Gotcha. One more thing too, I don't know if I've missed this on other manufacturers, but I've noticed that they've got this light facing out right here, and I think that should have been factory on every skid steer from the beginning. That's pretty handy on the one facing out here.
You can set your, got the little toggle switch there for your performance button. So you can set that, so let's say you're out brush hog or something like that, and instead of having your controls where you got throttle all the way up and you got herky-jerky controls,
Sure.
you can go and you can set that to, okay, I'm gonna run 3 mile an hour or whatever. You can set that to whatever.
So that's your creep mode, like on a Bobcat.
Yeah,
you get a creep mode
something similar.
control.
Yeah,
So
you
Can
can.
you hold the joystick all the way
You can
down?
all the way
and it
forward,
goes-
and you're only going to go certain
Okay, I
speed.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something. You still rolling?
Yeah.
That's something that my Deere, being older, didn't have, and my newer Bobcat does have. So that's a great feature. I didn't think I'd use it when I got the Bobcat, but I used the heck out of it. So glad to see it here too.
On the 325G and the 333, you could get a reversing fan on the back of it. So what that would do is if you're in dusty conditions and all the debris is pulling in and getting sucked into it, the reversing fan will kick on and blow the debris back out, keeping the radiator clean, keeping the engine cool. And will also, you can set it in the cab to be manually set, where you push the reversing fan manually, or you can set it in increments of like 20 to 30 minutes, and it would kick on every 30 minutes automatically.
Pull that side pan.
So service panel, lift up on it and pull back, and you're going to get into the machine for access for service.
Keep in mind, guys, it took me a while to figure this out because I'm an idiot, but boom this thing up, lock it out, and you're standing there looking at everything. I don't know how many times I'm trying to fill hydraulic fluid or get to something underneath this boom when I first got my Deere. Finally, I figured out you can get this thing out of the way.
Yeah. With it all the way up, you're free to reach in there without any sort of obstruction.
Sure.
I see over here the drive motor hoses are pretty well covered back behind all this. So I see Cat over there, they kind of got their hoses exposed
Oh, they sure do. I just didn't even notice that.
on the
Yeah.
land management package that they're covering.
Well, and the lug tracks versus the zigzag bar tracks. These right here, I can't speak on it enough. When you're traveling on like the asphalt or this right here, in the cab, the lot less rattling. It's a lot less noise. The traction of the zigzag bar traction travel tremendously better inside the cab.
Gotcha. Hi guys, I want to thank Billy for his time here. He's with the P&K John Deere again, and they got several locations.
We have 20 locations, Oklahoma and Arkansas. Just come out to one of the dealerships and someone can help take care of you.
All right guys, so if you're in the market for any green equipment, John Deere, skid steers, ag equipment, check out P&K.